Hello Pickles, and welcome to Fixing Life with Auntie Lizzie. So we'll start with the question, advice on avoiding burnout when the world is falling apart. So I'm sure at the minute we've all felt this a little bit. The world just feels a little bit more unstable than usual and everything is just that bit more exhausting. I'm finding that all the time I need more sleep, more rest, more fun to keep me going. And I think that's part of avoiding the burnout, is understanding that when the world is like this, your needs might be different to how they usually are. You might find that you need more sleep. You might find that you don't want to do things that you usually want to do. Perhaps you love exercising, but at the minute you're not up to it just as much as you usually would be. And learning what those needs are is what's going to help you. So I found that yes, I need more sleep at the minute. Learning online is exhausting, and spending all your time in one small house or wherever you're spending your time can be very frustrating. So understanding those needs and then focusing your goals around them is going to help. So perhaps there's hobbies that you can do that make you feel better, and it's knowing it's fine that when you finish work or university or school that you can just spend all evening watching Netflix or doing whatever you want to do, because the world is difficult right now and it's okay to not do things that you think are productive or useful and instead just do things that mean you can keep surviving. And also it's understanding that it's okay to feel burnt out right now. We all feel a little burnt out. We all feel exhausted and we're all a bit sick of how things are, and we can't wait for things to be back to normal. And let yourself feel those ways. Let yourself have weekends off and time off. Don't sign up to every Zoom thing people are inviting you to. Just get on with it and do whatever makes you feel good. So the next question is, do I reply to the guy who ghosted me 2 months ago? Help. Okay. Well, my personal opinion is that ghosting is just not really acceptable. I understand why people do it. It's the easy way out. It avoids conflict, etc., etc. But I don't think you should continue talking to someone who's been ghosting you. In reality, they could have said, look, I'm not here for this right now. I don't want to talk right now. I don't have the time for whatever right now. But they chose just to ignore you. And that is just disrespectful. In my opinion, it's not on. And at the end of the day, I know that the world is perhaps a little more rough right now, and there are probably some people with some really good or understandable excuses as to why they did this, but it would not have taken much effort for them to message you and just say, look, I just can't be involved with this right now. That person disrespected you by just completely ignoring you. So in my opinion, ignore them back, ghost them back, it's over. Sorry. I can't find a job, but also don't want to get COVID whilst working outside the safety of my home. I understand that this is a position a lot of people are in right now, and it's also a position that I think a lot of graduates have found themselves in the sense that they want to find a job, but right now it doesn't feel safe to look for a new job somewhere new, or to move out, or to try and have a job that's like a physical job where you actually have to be at work in person doing the job. And it's completely okay to feel that way. And if you're in a position where you don't have to do that, it's completely understandable if that's something you choose not to do. But it's also perhaps looking for jobs or opportunities that you can take whilst you're at home. So you may be struggling to find a job, but there may be voluntary online positions that you can go for. It may be that you could get involved with a charity and see if there's anything you can do for them online without having to leave your home. It may be that you could get involved with work experiences. I know some work experience schemes and some placement schemes are working online, and it may also just be looking for remote work positions. So I know that there's like online tutoring you can do. Some companies are specifically hiring for remote positions right now. So it's all to do with working out what's within your comfort zone. And it's completely understandable if you don't want to be working out there, if it's not safe for you or it's not safe for your family to be doing that. And therefore, I think a lot of employers are going to understand these employment gaps that are on your CV. A lot of people have lost their jobs, and a lot of industries just aren't running how they normally would. So you can't get jobs in a lot of places. So it's partly patience, not stressing, but also perhaps thinking outside of the box and looking for those remote positions or those voluntary positions that could help you further your career or find a career that you really love. Now, this is one that I have dealt with before, and I have a feeling that a lot of us have. So it is how to deal with a friend who makes everything you do into a competition when you don't want that. It's frustrating because I just want to be friends, not competitors. So the first thing to work out is whether you do want to keep that friendship. As you've stated, you do want to be friends, not competitors. I know a lot of people would think, is this relationship or friendship worth it, considering how much this is taking from me, how much this is draining me? And the truth is that some people are competitive and it's hard to get away from that. And a lot of those people are competitive because they're insecure. They know that you're doing well in life and they want to be in that position. They want to make themselves feel better by bigging themselves up. So in response to anything you tell them about life, they will say in response, oh, well, this is what's happening with me. Oh, this is my thing. And it's because they feel threatened. They feel like if they don't big themselves up, they're going to feel worse. And although that's very frustrating to be around, part of it is understanding that lots of this competitive nature is coming from their insecurity. It depends really on the type of friendship you have as to how you deal with it. I know that there are friends who, if we got into this sort of position, I could have a very candid and honest conversation with them because we were close enough that I knew that it wouldn't ruin the relationship with them. So you could sit them down and say, you know, this is what's going on. I'm not really appreciating it. I wonder if you've noticed it too. Is there something else going on that's making you do this, etc., etc.? But there's also a chance that that's not the sort of friendship you have and that conversation would perhaps ruin or taint a friendship. And instead, that's when you perhaps need to go, right, perhaps I will look at the way we interact and just compartmentalize it for myself. So I know that this person is coming at this through their insecurity. And however frustrating it is, I love their friendship and I know that I can just, when they say these things, think, well, I know the only reason they're saying these things is not to diminish me, but to make themselves feel better. And partly just knowing that can make you feel a lot better about that friendship. I mean, if this is an issue that keeps recurring and it does make you feel bad, then you really do need to talk to the friend. As with any relationship, friendships are about communication. And if that friend is close to you, I think they'll understand. And often it will be because something else is going on in the background that's making them insecure. Or they won't even notice they're doing it. Perhaps they're just so much in their own bubble that they haven't even noticed that everything you say they're comparing to their own life. The next agony I received was, I moved away in September and my boyfriend hasn't come to see me. It's always me going home. Well, with the world as it is right now, it's unsurprising that a lot of people in long distance relationships are finding it difficult. Actually, at the beginning of lockdown, me and my partner didn't see each other for 6 months because we just couldn't. We were living 2.5 to 3 hours apart and it just wasn't possible. I know that if you can see each other and it's all within the rules, you're going to want to see each other, but I also know that a lot of people are anxious about traveling right now, and it might be that your partner really just doesn't want to risk it. The world is in a position right now where we can't have relationships the way we would want to. We can't see people as often as we would like to, and often we might not be able to see them at all, and it's perhaps adapting your relationship to the world around us. Doing things like penciling in Zoom dates, or it's to do with planning things ahead. So looking to the future and both of you planning things in the future that you can look forward to together. Because it might be that you can't spend time together in person right now, but there are things you can look forward to that still make you feel like you're both invested in this relationship. And if it is possible, given lockdown rules, maybe it's saying, oh, next time we are able to, could you come and see me? It'd be really great if you came and visited where I'm living now. Should you stay in a relationship with someone who is of a different intelligence to you? Well, if you're asking this question, it's potentially because you're finding that there are things you value that your partner doesn't. It's not often to do with intelligence itself that this question arises. It's perhaps that you are interested in a specific type of intelligence or a specific thing linked with intelligence that your partner doesn't share with you. So it may be that you're sort of a creative person with a more scientifically thinking person, and that you realise that one of the things you value in a person is someone that can appreciate things you're creating or that sort of aspect of life. It may be that you're an avid reader and you want someone else who is an avid reader. And it's not to do with the fact you're of different intelligences, it's to do with what you value in life. I think that people of different intelligences can definitely be in happy relationships. I think that people that have very different spheres of education and understanding can be in very happy relationships, but it's to do with working out what you value. If what you value is specific types of academia or specific types of intelligence or creativity, then you need to take that into consideration with your partner. If you value the idea of someone who reads as many books as you, then that's what you need to look for in a partner. And it's perhaps not the intelligence that you're questioning, but the things that you find core to your everyday life. So you need to look for someone who appreciates the same things as you. And you can easily stay in a relationship and learn to develop similar interests. It's important to work out what you need from a relationship and if that person can give it to you. So if you need someone who understands these things, if you need someone who you can have specific conversations with around specific topics, then that is what you need to look for in a relationship. And if you are already questioning whether that's something that you have with your partner, then it's something you need to get to the bottom of. You need to work out what your values are, what you specifically want from a relationship, and whether this person can fulfill those needs, and also whether you can fulfill their needs. And this is a bit of a soul-searching mission. It's working out what you value in yourself, what you value in other people, and what are necessary building blocks of a relationship for you. This is perhaps one we've all felt at some point recently. How to dust yourself off when you have a nightmare week. I definitely have had a lot of nightmare weeks over the past year, and I think a lot of us have. And part of dusting yourself off is accepting that yes, this week was crappy. You've had a naff week, it's a complete write-off, and that's okay. It's okay to have weeks where things do not go right, where everything seems to go wrong, where the whole world feels like it's falling apart around you, and at the end of that week, you can just say, right, it's done. We're moving past it. Perhaps you had a giant list of things you want to do and you accomplished none of them. Well, it's over now. You move those on to the next week and you keep going. And what you need to do is find time to relax, find time to get over that week, to let yourself have a restart. At any point during the week, you can say, right, up to now was a write-off. We're starting again. This is the new beginning, the new Monday. We're starting here. It may be a Sunday and you're like, right, the rest of the week was a write-off, but today doesn't have to be. Not every day in a week is going to go well. Not every week is going to go well. And sometimes you're going to have lots of days in a row where that little thing goes wrong that just keeps niggling at your brain. Find some time to relax, to restart, to do whatever routine it is that makes you feel like you can have a new, fresh beginning. It might be that you want a relaxing bath. It may be that you rewatch a favourite show that you really enjoy. Maybe that you sit down and have a read. It may be that you rip out a page of your diary and you just start all over again. Whatever it is, you just need to find a routine that makes you think, right, this is a new beginning, this is a new step. We're going to move past all of that crap and move on to the new stuff. I think another thing that can help put weeks into perspective is to keep a gratefulness journal. It's something I do every day. I write down one thing I was grateful for that day, one thing that I enjoyed or brought me happiness or laughter. It doesn't have to be big. It can be that you ate a favourite food, that you watched a good TV show, that you read a nice book, that you had a nice nap. It's just one thing every day that made you feel good. We want to avoid that toxic positivity of thinking everything has to be good all the time. I have to be positive. I have to look on the bright side. Instead, pick out little bits. Think, these were some good things. These are some naff things. That is how a week goes. And now we can move forward into a new week with a new mindset and saying, right, we're going to have some positive things this week. We're going to have some negative things this week. But the most important thing to do is keep going. You are strong, smart and capable, and you are more than able to dust this off and move forward. Feel free to leave any of your agony questions down below or in any of my DMs. Thanks for joining me. Peace out, pickles.